Hey, this is Dave coming at you from Southeast Michigan. I forgot I need to do a final deck video. I think I originally said I was going to do a 4-part thing, but this is probably the 3rd video on it. Get my jacket out of here, but it's all done. We got it done actually a few weeks ago. I just moved on to other things and I kind of forgot to do a video, and then whenever I remember to do it, it was all filled with leaves and stuff. So since we're kind of having a Halloween trick-or-treat thing tomorrow, I figured I'd rake it up and sweep it and show it off a little bit. But this is the final project. Chelsea and Steven and I think we did a pretty good job on it. They learned a lot from it. But yeah, we've got it all sealed up with the lattice all the way down so rodents can't get down there. We dug like a 4-inch trench down into the wood, into the dirt, and just we'll cover it up. When I've done this in the past on like rental houses and stuff, I just pretty much brought it down to the dirt, but then it's easier for rodents and cats and stuff to get under there. But yeah, it turned out good. And I you know, this used to have the actually 2 stairs that were just much steeper steps, so we added that 4th step. I think we actually ended up with like a 4 3/4 or 5 1/4, around 5 1/4 inch step, which is real comfortable, and it's about 13 and a half inches out. And then you can see I put these graspable handrails because even though I still like to do this, I used to not like doing this, and then it became a requirement in the city of Pontiac, Michigan, where if you have rental houses, in order to have it registered, this is one of the things they hit you on, which they call it a graspable handrail, which now that I'm getting older and I almost broke my butt going down these stairs a few times, I think it's a great idea. So they're really easy to do if you have a pipe threader, or you could have Home Depot thread the pipe. They sell these flanges. You just get a quick nipple with a 90 and just kind of pre-measure the size. And then what we did is I think we put on we did a primer coat and then 3 thick nice black coats of exterior black paint on these. And I like it because it matches you know, the address numbers. We got those done. We have the lights on now. Yeah, it just kind of matches. And you're gonna want to let this pressure treated dry out probably until I'd actually say probably until next fall, and just wait for a really nice cool dry day without the sun. 60-65 degrees is probably ideal to get this waterproofed and stained. You got to make sure it's really dry when you do that. So we got one on this side, one on that side. One of the tricky things was to get these spindles, the lower decorative part, to be at a complete diagonal going up. We had to really watch that, but we got it. We figured it out. Let's see. Another detail of what we ended up doing is, you can see I actually ripped these spindles in half to put them up against here, because not only does it look a little bit more decorative, it adds some support, because we were able to put a couple of screws in there as well and through here, and it ties that in. And the way that we did this, because it would be hard to rip that on a table saw, which we did on a table saw with all the profile there, you wouldn't be able to keep that straight. So we just took like a 1x that was straight, and we literally just used electrical tape and wrapped it on each end, and so it would cut right through the electrical tape and loosen up on the first cut, but it stays straight, and then by the time you get to the end, it just cuts on through. So you could clamp it and put a little bit of screws in to hold the board and just taking the screws, but we just had a roll of electrical tape and it just worked really fast. You can just wrap it real quick and run it through. So, you know, because we had a decent amount of them to do, 1 2 3 4 5 6 all the way around. We probably had about 12 of them to do. But yeah, that's the update. We're proud of it, and I'm glad to get this done because these stairs have been kind of gnarly for the last 20 years, and hopefully they'll outlast me. Then Nikki, she bought a nice little arrangements of pumpkins and stuff. Got it looking good. We got a new welcome mat, and now we're doing our family room. We tore out all the carpeting, and we're gonna build those new stairs. So I'll do some videos on that stuff too. I guess since this video is kind of short, I never did get to kind of show you around the house how everything turned out. So we'll just do that real quick. And we ended up getting the gutters in. completely rebuilt the roof. You can see that we took time to, this house never had venting. It never had a way to vent. It had the side gable vents, but we did a vent every other vent, and we made sure that we put the vent bats against the plywood in there, and that way you could insulate solid into your attic and still get that nice airflow up through. One thing too, a lot of people don't realize how the venting works. Most of it, you know, when the wind blows and the breeze hits, that helps, but the way it works is if you have the ridge vent up there, it works through convection. As the air heats up in the attic, heat rises, so as long as it has a place to escape out the top up there on the top of the roof. Let me see, I'll back up so you can actually, we left it like 2-3 feet shy of the end. You might be able to see it, the little bump. But yeah, that ridge, that thicker black strip across the top, that lets all the air out. And then just as the heat rises, even if there's no wind, it's just going to naturally pull the cooler air in from the bottom. So even if there was no air movement at all, no breeze at all, you're still going to get airflow through there through convection. Let's see here. Walk through the back. It was a challenging job, even though it was kind of considered a side job for just at my house. We worked from May, and now we're going into November, and I still have about another week and a half, 2 weeks in the inside, but then we're done. Then we're going back to the house build, I promise. God willing, we do. See if I left this unlocked. But yeah, there were some like challenging spots, to say the least. You know, doing the step flashing around the chimney. We cut into the concrete, the brick, and did that, the counter flashing, and going up through there, making these cuts through there, and then getting way up in there. That's a really small crotch up there that was really difficult. Actually, we had to take a stick and a little painter's brush, like a little artist brush. And Steven was on the ladder down here while Justin was being the artist, and Steven just kept handing him the brush, and Justin just painted. Because, you know, even though you can't really see up there, I just figured we might as well try to paint. But anyways, yeah, this wall was a difficult thing, and obviously raising this whole roof line was a big part of it. And the fact that the roofers before me thought it was a good idea to use basically 1/4-inch Luan, 3/8 plywood. It was just the weakest roof I've ever walked on that wasn't rotted before. But raise this whole ridge up there. And then I won't even talk about the fiasco with the gutter company. They eventually honored their word, but they were being really shady, and they were trying to mess with the contract, whiting stuff out. And then the guy that worked for them wanted to do the job under the table, and then I was smelling weed all over that guy, and I'm like, geez, this is unbelievable. But dealing with that company was a nightmare, but they actually did uphold the contract, which was good. But wow, what a fiasco. Then we pulled our shutters off. We put 3 coats of black spray paint on those, remounted those. There was nothing to drill, you know, back into it because they drilled the holes too big. So we had to take wooden dowels and glue them in, and then pilot bit the wooden dowel in the center to just get a new way of screwing those in. So those are nice and rigid now. We added this window here. Where are we at? We're almost 9 minutes. I'll try not to go past like 10-11 minutes, but we put a much bigger window here. Before, this was all rotted. The window was half the size. I had to order these. The only difference between the old shutters and these is these have a little bit of an arch, but no one will notice that. Got that in, and then on the inside, we had all this tore out. I added this plug here. Here's my firewood stock for the first week of winter. But yeah, here's this. We took off all this, the base down here, and we added, you know, we redid all this. We jammed it, trimmed it, and for now I just put a primer here. But there's always loose ends. Like for instance, I thought I was done in here. We got the cover plates on and forgot to put that cover plate on. Let's see here. Yeah, but that's it. We've been moving along real quick. I guess I might as well give you a sneak peek on what we're doing in here. Tore out the floor, put plywood down. I'm doing a video real quick. This ceiling had a huge, nasty hole in it. We redid that. Now you can't even tell. It's all blended in. I don't do mudding and I don't like mudding, but when I do it, I try to get it as good as I can. We just re-put up the crown. I've decided, they built these walls all funky, so I actually decided to rip them bigger and actually put standard bifolds in there. But yeah, this is glued and screwed. Once again, they used 1/2 inch plywood for subflooring. So even though this was 16 on center, it was bouncy. So we liquid nailed and put a full 3/4 right over it, and now it feels like a, you know, a tank could drive on top of this. These stairs are temporary. I bought all new material to do these stairs. There's Nisha B, cutest dog ever. I hope Kobe didn't hear that, but she's so old she's probably deaf. But yeah, we just have them tacked in here. The whole thing came off, and I'm going to run the floor completely under them. Same thing, just like the deck. We're going to add, must have been the same person that built the deck, because look at 2 stairs. It's not equal. Up there, it's like 5.5 inches, 6 inches, 8.5, and like 7.5. So we're going to add one more full step out, and each stair is going to be probably around 4.5, 5 inch step. So it'll be good. We were able to leave the existing light. I love that light. And yeah, we've been working on in here for about 2 weeks too. We're gonna lay the felt down before we put the flooring. And that's what we have going on. And once that room is done, I'm not doing any more work on this house for a while. And I live here and I'm glad I'm getting it done, but we have a house build to get back to. Here's the flooring that we bought in the little step, the threshold for it. We've got the stringers for the new steps, some random lumber just in case. We've got the new poplar railing for that. Here's the nice oak 3 treads. The spindles I'm going to use, the 2 bifolds I was talking about there. I already bought the newel posts. And we got the pack of trim to wrap those doors. And 2x4s in case poop happens. It just always seems when you're doing framing, you always end up getting into a 2x4 for some reason. All right, that's what's going on, and I'm a liar because now it's 12 minutes, over 12 minutes. But yeah, that's what we have going on. I'm glad that we got it done, and luckily we got all the outside stuff done because the cold weather's coming. So I think for the rest of the winter, we have plenty of work to keep us 3 busy for the rest of the winter. All right, this is Dave, signing off.